Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we are back again with another Dragonheir video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about gearing. This is going to be more of an inventory and how to gear your champions guide. So do watch till the end. And before we begin, let's just start with the gearing itself. So there are like a lot of different sets. I went over each one of them in a couple of videos that you can find on my channel. But mainly speaking, when you're looking for something with the DPS set, so we have 4 different DPS sets, 2 tank sets. I call them tank sets, but not necessarily that you have to use them on tanks. These are basically going to give you more HP. Then we have the accuracy sets. These are going to give you accuracy or haste or accuracy and resist. And for the top 2 items, which is going to be your helmet and weapon, you basically want to cherry pick them. You don't necessarily need to keep every item. For most of the epic gear, once you start receiving a lot of legendary gear, you can completely throw them off. You really need a lot of gold in this game, and gold is very stingy, and you need to be very selective with what gear piece you keep and what gear piece you sell. So once you are at a level where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 DPS ready and 1 derived damage dealer, so I have like 5 different DPS ready for my account. So I'm going to be very stingy from now on who I sell, what I keep. And of course you will get to this point sooner or later. If you are a bit behind, if you're free to play, if you're a low spender, you will get to this point once we unlock the legendary gear drop rate material increase, which is going to happen in another 13 days from now. And I also have like a couple of different sets like that, and I have this I haven't filled yet, so I want to make another set where healer is for enlightened hero set, and this is a damage absorption set. So I'm going to be using this for my Acelia, who's going to be absorbing the damage in my vortex comp. Actually, let me overwrite this. Yep. So I basically save all my sets like this so that it's easier to swap gear. If I right now I don't have built that many teams, and not everybody would. It's only been 2 weeks, but as we progress we will have 6 to 7 different teams, depending upon what content you're doing. And in Pillars of Trials you will need 3 teams. In the Otherworld exploration you will need multiples. I think it's at least 6 teams that you will need then. And in CVC it's endless. There is a lot that we have to discuss in this video, so I'll try to keep as short as possible. So for the top 2 pieces, I'm mainly looking for the stat that matches the set bonus, right? So for example, if it's a damage dealer, so this is a bad piece. This is one of those early items that I got that I leveled to 20, and I'm just keeping it for a rainy day. Once we unlock the legendary drop rate material increase, I'm going to be selling this one. So typically this is a sell for me. I usually level them up to 8, see where it rolls, and I sell it. So this one has attack percentage. This is the one stat that you really need to keep on the top 2 items. Anything with an attack percentage and it rolls attack percentage is a must keep, irrespective of whether it's crit rate or crit damage or whatever you have, because it has a lot of utility. So this rolls really well. I'm going to be replacing somebody with this piece soon. So it gives me HP, crit rate, and attack. Again, attack is the most important for me. If it just has crit and crit damage, I will most likely sell it. You want to build the champion with 100% crit rate, don't get me wrong, but it should be accompanied with an attack percentage. So this is a PvP set for me. I don't think I will be using that much in PvE unless it's like on somebody like Oster or somebody like in a rally unit. I wouldn't be using it. Then we have the Goblin set. So in this set, you typically want attack percentage and enlightenment. So this is a bad piece for me, but since it double rolled on accuracy and double rolled on crit damage, I'm mostly going to be using this piece on. So this will primarily go to somebody from Frost. Then we have this Flora unit. So this is one of my early pieces. I don't have any other piece with attack and enlightenment, so I was using that. But once I get it, this is a sell for me. For this piece, it's a sell, because there's no real purpose for me to keep this one. Even if it quad rolls crit rate or crit damage, yeah, there could be an argument made like, yeah, it could be worth it, but just leveling it up to 20 requires like 500,000 gold, and I have to be very frugal with what gear I keep and what gear I sell. So this is a sell for me. And then going back, so this has attack percentage. Hopefully it rolls enlightenment because that's the most thing. So it didn't roll enlightenment, but it's still a good piece because it has attack and crit damage, so I'm going to be keeping it. See how it rolls. If it rolls flat stats like multiple times, so my first initial 12 roll, if it has a double flat stat or HP percentage roll, I'm going to be selling it, right? So and that's exactly what happened. So this is a sell. There's no real point on keeping this because I've already geared my champion. If I'm looking for improvement, I need something better, right? I'm not using Flora at the moment, and the champion that is going to be my main damage dealer, that's who I really care about for now. Then we have this kind of pieces where it did roll attack, defense, HP. It's a good piece, but I will probably be keeping it to roll it to 20, fully 20, and see if it rolls on attack percentage more. Still a keep for me. This one I'm going to be rolling to see. So this one already has, this is actually a good piece for a derived damage dealer. It has attack and enlightenment, but unfortunately it double rolled on a flat stat. So this would be a sell. Even though this is better than my current Flora piece, I really don't need it because I'm able to clear the content. I'm not going to be using Flora in a competitive mode setting, so I really don't care. Then it comes to these kind of different pieces where the tank sets which HP percentage. So I'm primarily looking for something with HP. I don't really have that many pieces right now, but this is what I'll be looking for, is HP percentage. For this piece, like, it rolls crit rate and accuracy, so this is a good piece. If I have 3 pieces of some sort of a damage dealer here, I can replace it with replace the last piece with this helmet, and you know, I'm getting like a triple crit rate with attack, defense, and accuracy, so it's a good piece for a frost unit. Then we have this piece. So this is complete garbage. It's only rolled 1 resistance, but I think this is on somebody in my arena team. But once I get better pieces, when you are doing your weekly quests, there will be some events that will require you to do either a specific dungeon, or you can farm these that point. I'm not really eager on getting more of them. So far so good, because the stamina is limited in this game anyways. So same with this piece. This is a garbage piece. It rolled on a flat attack. I would have loved if it rolls. So I'm gonna roll it one more time to see if it's HP or enlightenment. Then it's a keep for me, else I'm gonna be selling it. So it's rolled enlightenment. I will be keeping it, but and this rolls triple crit rate, so we can see if it rolls quad. Okay, so it went to HP stat. So the way the substat actually works, so crit rate, you really don't want it on your gloves as a main stat, and the reason being that crit rate you can get from here, and if you look at the difference between crit rate and crit damage, it's going to be really big, because I think crit damage you can get double of, versus crit rate you can only get half of. So it's harder to build 100% crit rate, but you really don't need 100% crit rate in this game. You can go in with like 70-80%. It's different from other gacha games, because in other gacha games you are playing at the end game and you have so much gear at that point that you know you are really min-maxing. Right now in this game, all this gear is going to go away at season reset, so I really don't care about it. For gloves in a damage dealer, so gloves item is going to be different, right? I'm going to sell everything with a flat stat, so it's going to be HP, defense, and flat attack. So all these are sells, except for the Swift Shadow gloves, because I'm going to be talking about it a bit later. So what my criteria for these are, like, this one has a crit rate which I really don't need, but it had attack percentage, so I'm keeping it for now. I really don't need it for now. I primarily look for crit damage or attack percentage, as in my test it did more damage. So if it's a crit damage, it needs to have an attack percentage substat. If it doesn't have it, then it's harder for me to, you know, really do put out a lot of damage. And that's the philosophy for these items. For somebody like Flora, she will require attack percentage with enlightenment. This has no enlightenment, but I really don't have any other attack percentage pieces with enlightenment, so I'm just gonna be waiting for now. In these pieces, I'm only looking for HP percentage. Is HP and defense percentage is the ideal spot. If you get attack percentage, crit damage, keep it if it has decent substat. So I can roll this to 4 and see if it gets anything. It's nothing really, but I'll try to roll it on accuracy or defense, because it will help the team survivability. So this will be something of an item if it rolls 100% on defense. So if it rolls like double or triple on defense and no rolls on accuracy, I'm probably going to be putting this on a summon unit, who whose summons deal damage based off their attack rather than any crit or anything like that. And also the accuracy, if it rolls all accuracy, I'm going to probably using it for Frost. And I'm going to go into detail like which champions would benefit from what. So that's basic philosophy for this set. The Swift Shadow gloves and the 3 emblem set is different, where you can keep flat stat stuff. So if it has like a main stat as a flat stat, which is like flat HP, flat attack, or flat defense, keep it as long as it has an accuracy roll. So this one has an attack percentage with the crit damage, so I may use it as a substitution. So I will probably just roll it to 8, see what it rolls, and roll attack. So this one roll attack. Did it get attack again? No. So it still has 1 attack, still better than a lot of different pieces that I have right now. In the long run, I may just sell this piece. But the reason that you want to keep something like this is a flat HP with accuracy roll is because when you're building your arena crowd control units, you really want a lot of skill haste. And the way you build it is with the 2 pieces of the 3 emblem set and Swift Shadow Curse. So you want 2 pieces of Swift Shadow and 2 pieces of 3 emblem. So you get 40 extra skill haste just from the 2 set bonuses. And the chest piece for them is always going to be accuracy. So you want something like this. I don't know who this is on, why it's on her, but regardless. So you want accuracy on these things, and accuracy should always be the legendary piece. And these 3 pieces, whichever you has the most accuracy, you pick that. So this one has 1 accuracy. This has accuracy, but I haven't rolled it just because we are not in a state of the game where I'm like really searching for it. And that's how I usually keep my gear. What pieces I need to keep is simply based on what stat it is and what it rolls. And you really need to be frugal if you want to have enough gold to level up your legendary gear. You don't get a lot of gold in this game, at least for the first 1.5 or 2 months. Then it becomes easier because you're not leveling that much gear. So for example, on the ruins, so positive ruins is going to have either attack, HP, defense, crit damage, or enlightenment. The main stats that you're looking for are these 3. And the reason being that, yeah, these are important, don't get me wrong, but these are very specific. These can be used on anybody, and on these 2 items you're only looking for skill haste. So let me break that down first. So let's look at attack. So these are going to be for your damage dealers. If you have somebody like a summon unit who just needs a lot of attack, or primarily for those, I guess. Outside of that, you also want to use this on somebody you're giving, so I have this on Laurenthiel, right? So Laurenthiel has this artifact that's going to give his 10% of the attack to all the ranged units. So that's why I'm using an attack percentage on him. Otherwise, I usually pick crit damage. And it also depends on the rolls. So it had 1 attack percentage roll. This one has attack percentage 1 roll and skill haste. So it really depends on the rolls. Like if this was a piece with quad attack percentage, I would just put it on my Filto, who's my main damage dealer for the season, and give this to somebody else. But since that's not the case, I'm just sticking it to him for now. So it really depends on what it rolls. Attack and crit damage can be used interchangeably between a pure vanilla DPS unit, and you're just maximizing what attack rolls and crit rate rolls on this thing. You do want the attack percentage roll on everything at the end game level. Early on, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're able to beat that content, it's good. Next up, we have the enlightenment, which is going to be on her. So enlightenment, it is good for healers, it is good for derived damage dealers, it is good for poisoners. So this is going to be the most sought after piece on the positive ruin side. And what you're typically looking for really depends on who you're going to place it on. So for example, like this one has skill haste and it has all this garbage stats. But if it's a healer, you want skill haste, defense percentage. Those 2 things are a must. If it's for a derived damage dealer, what you're looking for is the attack percentage. Attack speed is secondary, crit rate is secondary, other things are all there. But if you have somebody like a poisoner, you're looking for attack percentage and accuracy. So those kind of things that you're going to be looking for out for enlightenment. And if you're building anything with a debuffer or somebody for arena who's going to be a crowd control, all you're looking for, it really doesn't matter what stat they have, to be very honest. It doesn't have to be HP defense. All you're looking for is skill haste on the positive rune. The maximum number of skill haste, so for example, in this case, I did have an amazing piece here. Okay, so yeah, this has attack, but it has triple skill haste, no accuracy. Ideally, you want accuracy on it, but especially for a crowd controller, you don't really care about the accuracy that much as you care about how many rolls do you get for skill haste. And this is also good for any preventative person as well. So for example, there's a new hero out there, Philotia, I think it's called. What's her name? Philotia, right. So she has this amazing skill where she's going to put control immunity, and her cooldown is actually, so 3 is going to be 11 seconds. So it's shorter than most of the crowd control units. Crowd control units typically have a cooldown of 12 seconds. So that means that even if you have higher skill haste, in many occasions she's going to go first unless you're completely outspeeding them. So she's going to have the damage reduction and the control immunity on all the champions. So that's amazing. And the shield is based off of enlightenment. So typically the best case scenario would be an enlightenment ruin with as much skill haste as possible. And it's an amazing champion, don't get me wrong, and even 1 second is a huge amount of skill haste in arena. So it's a great champion to have. Next up we have the negative ruins. So if I go here, negative ruins for a damage dealer, you will typically looking for an attack with an attack percentage rolls. For somebody who is going to be your derived damage dealer, you're looking for attack percentage with enlightenment rolls and attack percentage rolls. So you're looking for attack, and enlightenment. For any damage dealer, that's mostly going to be the case. For a poisoner, you're looking for attack percentage, accuracy, and enlightenment. So that's why poisoners are a bit harder to build, because the gear is very selective for them. You can also, if you're struggling with accuracy, you could go with accuracy with attack percentage, enlightenment rolls, and this is going to give you a lot of accuracy. If you fully max it out, it gives you 96, so that covers you for a while. For your arena, so the reason that you will farm this dungeon a lot is because you want to be faster in arena, or you want great rolls on for some of your debuffers. So you're typically looking for accuracy, mainly accuracy actually in this case, unless you come across a team that is not resist in arena. At least in the top, if you're in mid-tier, up to mid-tier, I would say you could let go of the accuracy. Not many people build their champions with resistance, and you're looking for skill haste, so you want as much skill haste as possible. I really don't have any good pieces right now because the dungeon really opened up like a couple of days ago, and I've been mostly doing goblin. But this is like an ideal piece if it would be legendary and multiple rolls on skill haste. And I'm still going to be keeping this piece because it has HP, skill haste, so it's all the good stuff, and it's on accuracy. And wait for philosopher's stones to really roll this to a legendary piece. And the same actually goes for your chest pieces and gloves. If you have an amazing piece where it's so for example, I have kept this one, right? It did roll 1 on resistance, so it's fine, but attack percentage glove chest piece is very rare for me, so I'm going to be keeping this one. And once the philosopher's stone for this piece is available, I'm going to be upgrading it to a legendary piece. So you can go to this, let me go back to camp, and you will be getting this equipment and enhancement material. So I have this to level up the common to rare, which I don't need. Do I have any other ones? Let me see for the chest pieces. What do I have? So I don't have these stones yet, the scarlet ones, the stone 3. So once I have this, I'm going to be leveling up, and you can pick and choose what set you want, which set you are missing that. So I'll probably pick executioner for now because I'm missing the executioner chest for attack percentage. It's going to really come in handy because I can get to replace any of the bad gear. Like I don't have any crit damage gloves either, so I'm going to be keeping that. So this is what you're primarily looking for in the negative ruin as well. And to show you how you gear your champion, let me just jump quickly into arena to give you an idea, like at the top level, how people are gearing them. So currently I'm ranked 1 in my server, and the way I have my lineup is going to be a very tanky defense. Sadly, I had to switch it to this. I personally didn't like it because I really abhor tanky defense, but they made it so that it's possible. So as you can see, my Urgander here is going to have a lot of accuracy. So I have over 500 accuracy on him, and he's in this Holy Hunter set. Do keep 3 good like 3 to 5. Actually, keep 2 sets. At least 2 sets you should keep in this set, because it's actually a really powerful set for Arena, and also in Famiander at the higher level where you're going to be fighting, and the Pillars of Trials is going to come really handy, because anybody he attacks, he's going to CC, and it's a very powerful set for crowd controlling a lot of different champions, and he already has a lot of crowd control, so he's basically has the chance to taunt people. I don't know why they chose the image which looks like stun. I believe that he was initially created to stun people, but even in beta he was taunting, so I'm not 100% sure. But he's gonna taunt. The difference between a taunt and a stun is that when somebody has taunted you, your ult meter still carries on, but when you're stunned, your ult meter does not progress, so you're locked out of that ult meter for a while. And that 3 seconds is a lot if you think about it, because normally the initial ult charge is 12 seconds. With some skill haste, let's assume people are at 10 seconds, and you're going to be having a stun for 3 seconds. That's going to give you a huge advantage, right? Even your nukers will be able to go first if they have enough skill haste. So this is what I'm using on him. I have Witch's Remain on him, so my Tamar is actually both accuracy, and she does have a very high damage ultimate, so she's gonna kill them or slowly tickle them down. And what I went over here was HP with a lot of accuracy. I do need a lot of accuracy in top tier Arena, so I went with more accuracy roll. It would have been great if this was with some skill haste, but I didn't have any. This one I had skill haste and HP, so I picked this one. But I can let go of this if I get like a HP with any, even just one, no accuracy rolls and a lot of skill haste rolls. I'll still use that. But I didn't really have any good pieces with that ruin. So my Acelia has 478 resistance. I don't really have a resistance piece, and this is not even level fully because of the gold shortage. So I'm basically looking for a resistance roll because I want her to tank or survive any ult reduction, survive everything else. And she's also in the HP plus enlightenment set to have a little more enlightenment, because I don't really have much enlightenment on her. It's only through the set bonus that I'm able to get like 69. Yeah, so I want her to cleanse everything and just put a debuff immunity and heal the team as much as possible. And since she's resistance, this thing is gonna proc a lot. Most people in top tier Arena are using Urgander, so this, if I'm able to resist their Urgander, her passive is going to be proccing a lot. And I'm also using her resistance aura in the Arena. So Tamar, like I said, like you need these two sets, right? So you cannot use a 3-piece here because you want as much skill haste as possible. So it's 107. The skill haste doesn't show here, but you want the pieces, and you want as much skill haste on this side because she's my crowd control unit, and we have accuracy with 1 skill haste. So this is a sad roll. Would have loved if it was a double or triple, but yeah, sooner or later we'll get there. You will get a lot of legendary gear after 13 days from now, actually. And this is an AoE debuff, right? So what my thinking is, like, I want her to go before anybody else, her ultimate, and I've reduced it to basically like by almost 2 seconds, 2.25. And once this goes up, she's gonna place the buff prohibition and everything else. They did fix a lot of different things, so a lot of different Arena teams are viable now, where they've reduced the skill haste you get for your ultimate. So there are a lot of different options now compared to last time that I was playing Arena. So for this one, I went with somewhat a quasi build. So I don't want her to get resisted. I don't want her to, you know, be able to be frost or poison or whatever anybody else is using. I want her to resist those debuffs. At the same time, I've put the skill haste on her, and any overflow healing that she will be casting from this battle skill is going to be converted into shield. So I'm looking primarily for a lot of defense and resistance. That was what I was thinking, and whatever I could get rolled for now, I kept it. And she's in like a broken set as well. Like she has 1 HP plus enlightenment. I would have loved if I could change this, but I don't want to spend too much silver right now. Sorry, gold right now. Like at this one, I want another accuracy chest piece for this set, and I can switch it to the same type as her. I can also change this to be, so this goblin set is basically doing nothing, but early on a lot of different permutation and combinations are possible. But that's the philosophy of building the team. If I go to my damage dealer for arena, so if I go back here, okay, we hit the daily reset, cool. So if I go here in competitive mode setting, so my main damage dealer is going to be Avatar and Oster. So I have the executioner set on him. I don't really have good pieces here, so there is an attack one here, but I wonder why I'm using this. I think this is a bit stale. It doesn't matter right now. And for Avatar, I'm using also a crit damage piece with, so she's going to heal herself a little bit with this, and she gets an extra skill haste. So the reason for skill haste is not for her ultimate, is for this thing, so she has a chance to place frost. I did build her with some accuracy, not too much. I haven't changed my arena gear that much, but that's what the philosophy is. And if we go to something for PvE, if you're building somebody like a derived damage dealer, or let's take an epic for example, right? Let's assume you're building Furbath. Yeah. So say for example you're building a Furbath. The most important thing, the first thing that is going to be, okay, this is a PvE build. What does he do? He places attack penalty, he heals based off his defense, and he has a passive as well, which more healing, right? So the idea is like, okay, I'm gonna be doing a lot of healing and placing this, so I need accuracy and I need defense. So the first step would be to get to basically 240 accuracy for Vortex at least, for stage 3. I'm not sure what stage 4 accuracy is, but whenever you enter a particular content of this game, it will show a pop-up like, you know, how much accuracy is needed, and that's your accuracy target. Then comes the defense target, right? So I'm going to be looking for pieces which has, so I'll get 96 from here, and let's assume I don't have any essence, right? So you need a lot of essence to level this up. You need like 10, so let's say total 10,000 roughly from 0 to 20, and I got this to level 8, right? I only have 20 accuracy from this piece, and as I get more starlight dice, I will be able to get more epics, more rares, more commons, and more of the duplicates will give me much more of essence that I can level that up. But your early game, you don't have much essence, you only have it at 8. You're going to be wanting over here an accuracy negative ruin. If you don't have an accuracy negative ruin, the first step would be to place an accuracy chest piece on him. So right now, if you put a legendary one, it will give you 96. If you put an epic one, I believe is A64, right? So you really want that legendary piece over here, so you basically have enough accuracy, and then you will be looking for accuracy and defense rolls, right? Accuracy and defense roll. But once you place this chest piece, this is going to be the crux of your problem, because you're looking for a very specific item. It may be from a different set, right? So you want something of the 3-piece set. So what set should I pick, right? Once we have established that what his kit does, we need some accuracy from the set bonus as well, because we won't be able to get enough accuracy. The next step is, what other set do we use? Do we use the Holy Hunter set? So when he ultimate, he stuns people. That's one way to go, but he's not going to be helping you out in Vortex or in other dungeons, which you will really need early on to farm the gear. What you would really need is probably the 3 Ears emblem set. So when he ults, he's going to provide an attack up, which is a 15% attack up with this 3-piece set to your entire team. So these 3 pieces now become solidified, that I have to use them, right? I have to use 3-piece emblem set. Till you get to a point, you'll be using epics, and then from epics you will transition into legendary. So this is going to be after you've been able to farm some legendary gear, right? So once you have this 3-piece emblem set, you can start just placing as much, look for as much defense as possible and accuracy. So there is no accuracy available. Okay, so this is a great piece for him. I'm going to equip it. It's going to give me 60 accuracy because of the bonus and from the substat. So I'm getting 20 from the substat and 40 as a bonus, right? And it's also giving me skill haste, so I reduce the time of my ult which is going to allow me to keep this attack penalty on. For the downtime for the attack penalty right now is 8 seconds. The more skill haste I have, the less it's going to be, and that improved survivability is going to improve the recharge time for your battle skill, which is going to heal everybody. So more skill haste is definitely the way to go. So for Ruin, I'll be probably looking for something with defense primarily, but if not, anything with skill haste would do. On the negative Ruin, once you have unlocked it, because that's a hard dungeon, you will primarily look for accuracy, and once you have enough accuracy and you've leveled this up, you can switch this chest piece to a defense percentage, right? So you will get more heals. You have enough accuracy for PvE content, you need like 240. Later on it becomes higher and higher, but you will be getting some accuracy from your affinity bonus as well. So if we go to Psyche Core, so you were using, let's assume, the fire and poison, you're getting 50 extra accuracy on a 3 affinity bonus. So that's a lot, right? So you can subtract that, and now you only need 190, right? So that's the way you build a champion. And let's assume that somebody else, like let's take a look at my Acelia for PvE, right? So I have her in the Ancestral Protection set. I could have easily replaced her in this Radiance of the Blue Oak set, right? It gives HP and it heals this champion by 20% of the HP whenever they ultimate. So you get more heals on Acelia, but not necessarily on the team. But if she's already going to be tanking, so I don't need to heal her that much. She has double heals, and I don't really want a lot of HP on her either, right? Because she's not my Call of Lightning target. If I'm using for Vortex primarily, I gotta think like, do my healer has to be the Call of Lightning target or not? Primarily is going to be the person who's going to be placing debuffs. So for example, like in my team, it was Sagomir who was taking the Call of Lightning damage, and she reduces it by 15% as she will absorb that hit. So her HP does go down a little bit, but yeah, it's better because I'm sharing that Call of Lightning. That's a huge chunk of damage, and that is where your team starts dying. So primarily I'm looking for Enlightenment. She's an Enlightenment healer. Then I'd look for defense percentage. I'm looking for Enlightenment as much as possible because I'm going to be using her in Vortex, and I want to maximize that healing. I don't have any Enlightenment here, it seems. Yeah, so I just went with this bad piece. But Enlightenment, Ruin, and with some skill haste, the more the merrier. I don't have any defense percentage. Ideally I would like Enlightenment, defense percentage, and skill haste, and for this piece I went with defense, so she takes less damage. But that's how I usually build my champions. But yeah, that was the content for today. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next, and hit a like if you thought this was helpful to you, and share with somebody who you think might benefit from it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.